You've been playing Pokemon for years, and you probably think that you know just about everything there is to know about the series, right? You think you're a pretty knowledgeable individual, don't you? Well, you're wrong! Did you know Gaming's account is filled with obscure and insane facts about games that you probably didn't know? So today we're gonna play a game. I'm gonna play a game with you guys. We're gonna play Did You Know's Did You Know, in which we're gonna watch this video, and we're gonna keep a tally of all the things that we did know, and all the things that we didn't know, and at the end, we're gonna come together and we're gonna see, do we know as much as we think we do? Or do we not that big good fans? Thank you to Did You Know Gaming for letting me do this kind of reaction, a little bit of a game with you guys type of video. They did a video on Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I'm excited to get into this because I've watched a lot of their videos in the past, and I've always learned 7,000 new things. So let's get into it. We're gonna keep a tally of all things that we know, all things that we don't know. Let's go right now. This is on Leaf Green and Fire Red, remember guys.
Did you know? There are 50 Ereader Cards for Fire Red and Leaf Green that were never released outside Japan. A lot of the content the cards unlocked can't be accessed by any other means, and since Ereader Cards are region-locked, most fans never got a chance to experience any of that content. Although it was eventually made compatible with other franchises like Mario and Animal Crossing, the e-reader was originally marketed as a Pokemon device called the Pokemon Card e-reader.
Oh, okay, so I did know about the e-reader, but I will admit, I did not know that there was special content locked in Fire Red and Leaf Green behind Pokemon cards, so that's a did not know.
Scanning the strips on select Pokemon TCG cards into the e-reader unlocked exclusive content for your Game Boy Advance, like a Space Invaders style minigame where Tyranitar fights an active volcano. You could also scan—
What? There's a minigame where you can fight a volcano? Okay, I've never seen that before in my life. What? All right. Did not know number 2. I had no idea. Did you know that? I literally had no idea. I'm not off to a good start here, apparently.
Cards into Ruby and Sapphire for trainer battles, unique berry types, and the Eon ticket that took you to the Southern Island. Most of the cards were released in the US, but due to the e-reader's lack of popularity outside Japan, functionality for the cards and international versions of Fire Red and Leaf Green were deactivated. As a result, this 50 card set remained exclusive to Japan, containing 37 trainer cards and 13 tower cards. Scanning a trainer card imports up to 3 trainers onto one floor of the trainer tower in the Sevi Islands, and the trainer tower is 8 stories tall, so you need to scan—
Oh my god! There is so much going on with this! So you had all of these 50 set of trainer cards, including battle tower cards that you could scan into your game, and then you could just do all these battles! Where was this when I was a kid? Oh wait, it was in Japan. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna add that is another did not know. Apparently there was so much battle tower content just open for everyone to play, and then no one got to play it because it was never released outside of Japan.
8 trainer cards. Lots of these cards are themed, like Shiny Evolutions and Kanto starters. Each card shows you just a few of the trainer's Pokemon, and only a few of their attacks, so you won't know the rest until you battle them. Their Pokemon are all scaled to match the level of the strongest Pokemon on your own team, so they'll always be a worthy challenge. You can mix
scaled gameplay as well, something Game Freak never looked at before. I mean, I think scaled gameplay could work well in the Pokemon series, especially if you did something like an open world game in which you could go to any gym that you wanted to in any order. You'd have to use some kind of scaled gameplay in order to make it a fair challenge going where you want to go. So I do wish that they would use some more of that in the future. I believe they used it in The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. It wasn't hugely loved in that because it would mean that you didn't come up with a real challenge. You could never go into an area and get a real challenge, but at the same time, you could have certain areas locked off as like high level areas. For example, like maybe one gym that is always the final gym, or some caves that are always high level caves. I think that's how an open world Pokemon game could really work, but I'm getting a bit off topic here. I apologize.
Match trainer cards to make any tower you want, but ideally, fans are encouraged to build towers curated by Game Freak themselves, which is where the tower cards come in. There are 13 different tower cards, and each one is ranked by difficulty: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. A tower card tells you to scan 8 trainer cards in order to build the tower shown on the card. Tower cards also have an option for time attack, which gives players the option to have an extra layer of challenge for thrill seekers and completionists.
There's a time trial mode in this! There's so much content behind the battle tower that I never knew existed, all right? I'm gonna mark that down as a did not know. There's so much behind here that I just did not know existed in the past.
Climbing towers doesn't reward you with experience, but you can win some decent prizes, like dragon scales, metal coats, and upgrades. Some of these trainers were incorporated into international versions of the game without use of the e-reader, but a lot of them weren't, which makes these cards especially valuable to collectors. I
wonder if you can still find them to this day. Now, I am actually kind of curious about this now. If I were to Google these Pokemon Fire Red e-reader cards, what would come up? All right, I'm having a hard time, like, finding anything. I think they have to scan the cards. I found an Eon ticket that's being sold for £750, which is like $1,000 in US dollars. Jesus Christ. All right, well, I'm not interested. I'm not in the market for an Eon ticket right now. Maybe, yeah, I'm absolutely not. No.
4 cards in the game set could be found in 5 card booster packs, similar to TCG cards. One promo card was also distributed to fans in May 2004's issue of Koro Koro magazine, and the last 5 cards could only be acquired through Club Nintendo. Nowadays, these 5 Club Nintendo cards, 4 trainers and 1 advanced tower, are incredibly rare, costing upwards of $2,000. Due to the
$2,000 for an e-reader cards. It's not even a base set Charizard. It's worth more than a base set Charizard at PSA 9 if you were to grade it and then sell it. That's ridiculous, man. I can't believe that.
Card's rarity and difficulty.
And also, yes, I did not know that. That.
For the love of God, learn to speak, Daniel.
I'm just gonna log that down as I did not know.
Fire Red and Leaf Green's ultimate challenge is building the Club Nintendo Tower and completing its time attack of 12 minutes and 47 seconds. In Japan, the original Game Boy games were red and green, but internationally the first releases were called Pokemon Red and Blue. Since most international fans never played green, the remake's director, Junichi Masuda, admitted that Water Blue would have made more sense than Leaf Green, but
see, Water Blue would have made more sense. Also, I knew that the original games in Japan were green and red, so I'm gonna log that down as a new because otherwise I'm not gonna get any points if I keep going like this.
Decided against it to symbolize the harmony of the Pokemon world. In 2004, Masuda wrote, "If we follow the
Wait, the harmony of the Pokemon world? What doesn't say harmony if not water? Water's like the harmony elements. What do you mean?
Pattern of the original series, the new games would be Fire Red and Water Blue. But I chose green as a leaf as a symbol of peace. Fire and water are opposing concepts that suggest conflict, but the real world is already full of conflict. So we decided on names that suggest a peaceful world.
Yeah, as opposed to fire and leaves, which are totally best friends. And fire would never do anything to hurt leaves. Fire has never done anything to hurt forests or anything in the past. All right, California, all right, Australia, there's never been any issues with fire and leaves before, obviously.
Just like every previous game in the series, Fire Red and Leaf Green were localized into English almost entirely by just one man, a Canadian freelancer named Nob Ogasawara.
Damn, one man? I didn't know that. That's kind of, dude, he's sick. We love Nob. Wait, I feel like I heard this before in a previous episode. Did I know that? Was it like locked in the annals in the vaults of my memory? I didn't know it. I'm just gonna log it down as I didn't know.
As a thanks for his years of service, and also to provide an Easter egg for fans, Nintendo of America named lots of NPCs after him, starting with Black Belt Nob and Gen 2 Cianwood Jim, as well as another Black Belt on Hoenn Route 115.
Damn, this man must have been like ripped. He must have been shredded. He's in the gym. He's hitting those deadlifts. He's hitting those PRs, you know, man? All the black belts are named after him.
Nob told us that in real life, he'd make a terrible black belt, as he has the coordination of a mechanical monkey. Nintendo later found out he spent a lot of his time off work hiking. So for Fire Red and Leaf Green, they changed Nob from a black belt into a hiker on his way to Bill's house. And you can find him on Route 25 with 3 Geodude and a Machop. Nob was also included in the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But
damn, he's everywhere! Well, I'm also in the Pokemon games too. There's a hiker in Generation 2 in the Dark Cave, or the cave that you go after Violet Sissy. He's called Hiker Daniel, which is obviously a direct reference to myself because no one else is called Daniel in the world.
After translating 25 Pokemon games almost single-handedly, Nob got laid off in the middle of Gen 4 due to contractual complications between Nintendo and the Pokemon Company.
No, Nob! Hire him back! Hire him back! We need a petition! Get Nob back!
So unfortunately, he didn't make his way into Sinnoh or any later iterations. Speaking of Nob Ogasawara, the Sevi Isles south of Kanto are based on the Ogasawara Islands that lie.
Okay. So they're based off of islands just off of the coast of Japan. Nice.
Off the southern coast of the real-life Kanto region of Japan. They're actually named after Nob's ancestors, who claim to have been the first Japanese to ever set foot on these islands. The Ogasawara Islands were never geographically connected to the continent, and as a result, they're populated by plants and animals that are nowhere to be found on the Japanese mainland, which makes their in-game counterparts, the Sevi Islands, a perfect home for all of the Johto and Hoenn Pokemon found in Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Wow, that's so cool! cool. What? You make a remake of the first generation of Pokemon, so you think, where am I going to put all of the new Pokemon? Well, you put them in an area that makes sense. You get an island that is completely separated from the mainland, where it has different species there, and you put the new Pokemon there because they're separated and it would make sense geographically for them to be a new species. That's so smart. Also, I didn't know that. So, sure. No, that did not know.
Some of the Sevi Islands represent specific Ogasawara Islands, like Deoxy's home, Birth Island, which is clearly modeled after Minami Torishima. In real life, the United States and Japanese governments fought over the strategic naval island for nearly 100 years. The US finally gained control of the island after World War II, but ultimately gave it back to Japan peacefully in the 1960s. There are over 30 Ogasawara Islands, and interestingly, the game's internal data shows a lot more Sevi Islands that didn't make it into the final game, including names and even some maps for islands 8 and 9.
Okay, so they were gonna do more than the original ended up with. Well, to be fair, I think 7 was probably enough. And also, I thought it was called the Sevi Islands because there was 7 of them. You know, 7, Sevi. Am I mistaken on that? I might have been. I don't know. I didn't know that there was going to be... I didn't know. God damn it. I didn't know that there was going to be more islands, though. That's another did not know. For me, anyway.
As well as 22, 23, and 24. It appears Game Freak was originally planning on 24 islands, or possibly even more, but the internal maps are unfinished, so the islands count was probably reduced before too much time was spent in development.
24? May, if they tried to make 24, they'd still be developing it now.
Some of the Sevis are also based on the Izu Islands, a volcanic island chain that inspired Mount Ember, the dormant volcano on one island, and also Naval Rock, whose winding passageways were formed by volcanic lava. In addition to the extra islands, another aspect of the Sevis never saw the light of day, and as a result, Fire Red and Leaf Green ended up with only 46 Johto Pokemon instead of the 59 Game Freak intended. Surfing north of 6 Island, players can find a small area called Outcast Island, whose only purpose is being home to Altern Cave. It's a small cavern about 4 screens large, and it only contains one Pokemon, Zubat. At first glance,
oh yeah, what disappointment this place is.
It seems like a pointless local, but it's actually left over from a series of unused events. These events would have given fans a mystery gift that altered the Pokemon found inside, replacing Zubat with 8 Johto Pokemon.
Oh, that's so cool! How are you getting a sheep in a cave, though? Marie Houndour,
Pineco, Shuckle, Teddy Ursa, Houndour, Stantler, and Smeargle. Fans would have been met with the following text, which can still be found in the game's data. Thank you for using the mystery gift system. Recently, there have been rumors of rare Pokemon appearances. The rumors are about Altern Cave on Outcast Island. Why not visit there and check out if the rumors are indeed true? But unfortunately,
that's so cool! Okay, so the place that is a complete waste of time to go to in the actual game was actually planned to be an area for you to get a bunch of the Johtomons. Again, something I did not know. It would have been nice to see that happen because right now that cave is completely pointless to ever go to. It has Zubats in it. Who cares about Zubats? Absolutely not. No thank you.
Unfortunately, Nintendo never got around to actually hosting any of these events. So these Gen 2 Pokemon and their evolutions, a total of 13 monsters, ended up unobtainable. And nowhere to be found in Ruby and Sapphire either. So fans were left with some annoying—
Oh, so you couldn't find them in Ruby and Sapphire? So they're literally completely unobtainable? Game Freak! Bring back the National Dex! Why is Houndoom not in my game? I'm so mad!
Holes in their Pokedex that couldn't be filled until Emerald hit store shelves a year later. When Fire Red and Leaf Green launched, art director Ken Sugimori drafted a new art set to replace the series' original watercolor art, and in the process changed the number of fingers and toes on a lot of Kanto Pokemon.
Changed the numbers of fingers and toes on Kantomons? What?
Haunter, Golem, and Raticate all had 4 fingers on each hand, but their updated designs had just 3. Meanwhile,
he just chopped off the fingers of so many Mons! I didn't know that! Damn it, I didn't know that! Oh my god, I'm doing so badly here!
Pikachu and Mr. Mime sprouted additional fingers, now giving them 5 on each hand.
They sprouted fingers?! That's funny, dude. I'm on 10 didn't knows and 1 no.
According to Pokebeach founder John Zahagian, at a 2009 Tokyo event, a Pokemon Company staffer told him, the Pokemon Company has an internal list of every change ever made to a Pokemon's design. For example, he told me Mr. Mime gained an extra finger because Japanese parents wrote in to complain about its 4 fingers being associated with gangs.
What? Associated with gangs? I
later learned the Yakuza get their fingers cut off, so I guess parents thought Mr. Mime was a Yakuza reference.
What? Bro, you join the Yakuza, you get your fingers cut off? That's ridiculous. No, sorry. I guess I won't be joining the Yakuza anytime soon, as I very much value my fingers.
There's a taboo in Japan against cartoon characters with 4 fingers, not only because of the Yakuza, but also because it's considered offensive to lower-class workers like butchers and meat packers who've lost a finger.
Really? I mean, that's just a general Japanese culture fact, but it's considered offensive to people who have lost a finger. That's really interesting.
Some Pokemon also sprouted extra toes, like how Zapdos and Dodrio went from 3 on each foot in Gen 1 to 4 on each foot in Fire Red and Leaf Green. But this probably had more to do with consistency than taboo. Articuno, Moltres, and Doduo had all 4 toes from the very beginning, so the designers
and then they lose a toe when it evolves into Dodrio.
Zapdos and Dodrio only had 3, and revised their designs accordingly. All these Pokemon's original designs were never seen again, and future generations permanently replaced them with Fire Red and Leaf Green redesigns. According to Satoru Okada, the general manager from the DS games, the DS might not have had built-in Wi-Fi if it wasn't for Fire Red and Leaf Green. As you can still see on the game's box art, fans who bought Fire Red and Leaf Green also received a GBA wireless adapter.
Yeah, I knew that. I remember getting my sealed version of Fire Red Leaf Green. I literally remember sitting outside of one of my grand's friend's house about 16 years ago now, because she had heard that my grand's friend had a copy of the game and I really wanted it, and she was like, oh, let me go and see if I can maybe buy it off her. And she went in and she did, and I had Leaf Green, and it was such a good moment. And I remember that bloody wireless adapter too. Oh my god. Looks like a hat. Looks like the game's wearing a beanie. But I knew that. I can mark that down as a no. The game came with a wireless adapter. I remember literally getting a sealed copy myself.
Which allowed for trading in battles without a link cable. In an interview with Japanese Nintendo Online magazine, Okada said, "We started development with a wireless adapter bundled with Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. When we saw it, we thought we can definitely make it happen. Some people find the cable annoying, and you can't really walk around or move when connected to another system. So we wanted to develop the wireless capability even further. We thought making it part of the system itself, rather than an adapter, would make it even easier to use. If Okada's team hadn't built Wi-Fi into the DS, many of the special events in Gen 4 and Gen 5 wouldn't have been possible."
Imagine if they didn't build Wi-Fi into the DS. Oh my god. That would have been a nightmare. Jeez, I mean, I know Nintendo's usually behind the times, but like, come on, man.
Did you also know in the Japanese version of Gen 1, the old man in Viridian City was drunk and a hype-
Yes! Oh my god, another thing that I knew! Yes, I knew that! I did know that. The man in the Japanese version of the original games, he is an alcoholic and he was drunk, and they replaced it. Well, I mean, you're gonna hear about it in a second, but they replaced it with coffee because it wasn't okay to show a drunk guy in a children's game in the West.
The outside of Rock Tunnel was high on magic mushrooms.
Wait, he was high on magic mushrooms? Okay, I didn't know that one. That's a did not know.
For more facts about how Kanto was changed all around the world, click on the video on screen. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and
also the person that voiced over this video was Tama, who is another PokeTuber who you should definitely subscribe to as well. But I'll leave the link for the Did You Know Gaming channel in the description. All right, so tallying things up here. We had 14 possible things that I noted down, 11 things I did not know, and 3 things I knew. So I didn't do so hot in this. I don't know how you guys did. Maybe you did a little bit better than me, and you knew about the e-readers, you knew about the species being in the Sevi Islands, you knew about that cave or something like that. I didn't do so hot in this, but thank you so much to Did You Know Gaming for allowing me to make this video. I think this is super fun, and I did learn a lot here, which is really nice. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Most of the people watching this video are not subscribed to the channel, so you want to make sure that you are. Of course, it's just a button click. I'm only down there, hit that like button. You can always unsubscribe and unlike the video in the future if you really want to, but I would really appreciate it. It would be super fantastic if you could, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much to our Twitch subs and YouTube members of the day. Remember, if you are a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber, that both gives you access to the sub Discord, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you so much, guys.